a lot of times people don't have this fire in their belly. They're thinking, why am I getting drifted into 100 directions, or getting into shiny objects syndrome, or just not able to focus. The reason is because that purpose, it's not clear to them. What do they want? So what this book suggested is having a definite purpose. Our subconscious mind, it works on the principle of repetition. So
Okay.
whatever you will tell it multiple times, so what will happen is ultimately it will go inside your subconscious mind, and subconscious mind does not even understand jokes, or it does not differentiate between truth, lie, fact, fantasy, nothing. Whatever you speak to it multiple times, it only works on the principle of repetition.
So, hello everyone, and welcome back to one more awesome episode of the Achievers Club podcast show. Today, we are going to discuss about something really important because today we have uncovered the book named Think and Grow Rich, which is really very popular in terms of personal development and in terms of thinking big and achieving big. Because in this podcast, we have an amazing guest named Taiba Mahmood, who was already a guest on our podcast show with a different topic. But today, we have discussed about the book named Think and Grow Rich, and how do we go about step-by-step manner on thinking big and achieving great results in life. That's what we have discovered in this particular podcast in the form of 5 steps. So please do make sure that you watch this podcast from the beginning till the end, because in this podcast every single minute is actually worth millions of dollars. And mark my words, once you attend this particular podcast from the beginning till the end, and if you take full notes and if you start implementing one by one things into your life, then you will definitely become rich and wealthy in your life. So please do make sure that you take full notes and watch this podcast from the beginning till the end. Taiba Mahmood, ma'am, welcome back to the Achievers Club podcast show. How are you?
I am good, so excited to be back, and I mean, I'm super pumped up since morning because Think and Grow Rich is something which is like, super close to my heart. So excited for this thing.
That's true, because even I am excited for this podcast, because for the very first time, I am creating a podcast around a book where we can actually achieve the best potential for ourselves, and we can also make a bigger difference in ourselves as well as in this overall world. So thank you so much for being on our podcast show.
I'll just add a little snippet before we move on, and that is
Yep.
this single book has created more millionaires than any other personal development book combined or multiple books combined. So that is a takeaway that I want to give to everyone who has not gone through the book. Please go through this session. It's going to be super valuable. And I am personally motivated to learn more about it and share all the things that I've learned so far, because this book is pure gold. I mean, people who have been like literally leading the way in various fields. So Napoleon Hill, he did a research on 500 top people of his time who were leaders in their industries and fields and domains, and combining the wisdom of those people like Thomas Edison, people like Henry Ford. So all these people who were legends and were still relevant till this date, their wisdom is combined in the form of 11 principles which are shared in this book. And it's, I mean, you must go through this book if you are up to achieving anything in life. It's not like you have to be a coach, entrepreneur. If you want to do anything successful, or you want to make it big in your life, this is a book for you. I mean, I'm getting so emotional about this because I have learned so much about these things. Couple of years ago, one of my friends, uh, I have the pleasure of calling her my friend and my mentor. So she actually recommended me this book. So back then, she was saying that this book actually changed my entire trajectory of the career, and she is like the top storytelling coach of India. So she's a
Superb.
leading storytelling coach of India. She has done her storytelling sessions all across the world. And she said, all of this I was able to do because of just one book. And I've
Okay.
literally met people in person who have told me that this book has changed my life. There are books that people, that only celebrities speak about, right?
True.
And then there are those books where you meet your mentors and people that you admire, or you're learning something from them, and they are telling that you should read this book. go check out this book. So this book is, a book worth its weight in gold. So I'm super pumped up, as you can already see.
Yes, that's true. And I can see the sense of enthusiasm within what you're speaking right now. So, as you mentioned, there are 11 principles. So, we can't go forward with all the 11 principles because reading the book is highly recommended. But what we will do is in this podcast, we will try to understand 4 to 5 main principles which can actually create that sense of energy inside people, those who have not yet gone through that particular book, so that we can just scratch the surface for them so that they can understand right from the basics, and then they can go for reading the book as well. So is that okay for you?
Yes, I'm more than happy, because even if we will discuss 4 to 5 principles, I mean, this itself is a in-depth task, I'll say.
That's true. That's true. So right now, based on my own study and based on what you shared, some of the main points I have taken out 4 to 5 points, which we will discuss in this podcast. So first point, as you shared, was with respect to purpose, right? So
Yeah.
as per my own definition, like what I have studied through my own self-education journey, purpose is something which is higher than us, higher than what we can actually aspire for, and beyond our limitations, so that every single day when we are waking up, we are having that one single purpose in mind, one single statement in mind for which we are working, and without any you can consider, without any burnouts or anything else like that. So what's your definition of purpose, and what's the definition of purpose which is mentioned in the book?
So Napoleon Hill says that the beginning of any achievement in our life begins with a burning desire. So a burning desire is like a seed to whatever you will achieve in your life.
Okay.
A lot of times people don't have this fire in their belly. They're thinking, why am I getting drifted into 100 directions, or getting into shiny objects syndrome, or just not able to focus. The reason is because that purpose, it's not clear to them. What do they want? So what this book suggested is having a definite purpose. Now, what's a definite purpose? When we say a definite purpose, we mean that what's that one big thing that you want to achieve in your life? Number one, you need to be very, very specific about it. For example, I'll give you a very simple example. Bruce Lee. Many years ago, he was a big fan of Napoleon Hill, and Bruce Lee wrote a statement, and maybe I can pull that statement up also. Just give me a moment. So, Bruce Lee wrote the statement that I, Bruce Lee, would be the highest paid, wrestler of my time. And, I'm going to have $1 million in my bank account because of my work and the entertainment that I provide to the people. And that thing which he wrote, that came true, and he became the highest paid, wrestler of his time. So the point is, uh, number one, he was clear, by this date I will have this particular amount. I'm not remembering that exact amount that he wrote. It was some 10 million or something. He wrote that amount, and he wrote the exact date. Like, by this date, I will have it, and I will live peacefully, and I would give the highest amount of entertainment. I will present the best tricks, the best of my work, and people will cherish it, and I will live in utmost peace, harmony, and happiness. So now there are two things that are there in the purpose statement. The number one thing that he's talking about is what he wants to get out of life, right? We all want
Okay.
to achieve something in life, right? But as it is said that whatever you want to achieve in your life, it will cost you your present life, meaning you have to do some changes in this life so that you can get a new life, right?
True.
So you have to give something in order to get that life. So what is it that you will give? So for example, Bruce Lee said that I'm going to entertain people, I will do these cakes, I will do these tricks, I will do that. All of these things he wrote, right? As a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, what will you do for people that you should be deserving of this amount, because in nature, whatever gives value is promoted, and whatever does not provide value is eliminated, right? So number one thing is you need to be very, very particular about what you want, by what time you want, right? That should be very, very clear. The second thing that you need to be clear about is what is it that you are ready to sacrifice, contribute, or serve? What is it that you will give in return of whatever you are asking, right? And then there is a science to doing your purpose, remembering it, which is like our subconscious mind, it works on the principle of repetition. So
Okay.
whatever you will tell it multiple times, so what will happen is ultimately it will go inside your subconscious mind, and subconscious mind does not even understand jokes, or it does not differentiate between truth, lie, fact, fantasy, nothing. Whatever you speak to it multiple times, it only works on the principle of repetition. The more you repeat something, the more you will tap into those feelings of gratitude. And whenever you're reading this statement, your chief goal in life or your ultimate goal in life, you have to be in that feeling as if you have achieved it. Because only then will your subconscious mind tap into those feelings and start working towards it. Because your subconscious mind is infinite. It is the infinite intelligence that God has given you, right?
True.
So to waken you up, you need to show that purpose, not just once, not just twice. It is required that you should do it at least a dozen times in a day. If you want to
In a
do
day.
beyond that, is yeah, with gratitude. So what I like to do is, I hold my paper, like my chief aim in life. I keep a hand on my heart, because heart is something which connects your feelings. It makes you come alive with your vision, with your mission, with your purpose. And when you then read it with the state of gratitude, holding that paper, it gives a different vibration within your body, mind, soul. And that's how you start, shifting yourself from within. And when you shift yourself from within, you will see everything else around you start shifting. It's all your energy that's getting transferred in the universe, right? So that's the first thing, right? So we can go very, very deep in purpose, that what is purpose. A lot of times people think that purpose, a lot of people who don't have clarity about purpose, they think purpose is just about earning money. Earning money
Okay.
is just a very limited, you can say it's a byproduct of
True.
having a definite purpose. Because imagine this, if you are doing a job or a work which you are absolutely passionate about, you will be, number one, you will be happy, satisfied, you'd be giving your best, right? You would be attracting people that you want to work with. And it's not just the money that's coming in. Money is a byproduct. It will for sure come because you're giving excellent service, you're working, you are doing some amazing things, you're adding value, that will come. But more importantly is the inner calmness and the inner zen that you will get, because of your purpose is beyond money, right? So that is why I always say that purpose is not just about money. Money is a byproduct of whatever you'll do passionately. God, there's a very famous story, you know so it is said that God gave everybody a gift, a beautiful, beautiful gift.
Okay.
And we all have it like right in front of us. There are capabilities, there are abilities, there are talents, there are passions within us, which can literally change the face of mankind, of this planet, right? Uh, it can change the world. But many people, they're scared of opening that gift and sharing it with other people. For some people, it's public speaking. They're great speakers, and
True.
through their voice, through their work, they're inspiring millions of people. For some people, it's personal branding. They're building their brand and they're helping others build their brand. For some people, it's some other cause. They want to uplift women. For some people, it's uplifting coaches. For some people, it's helping the needy and the poor and the unfortunate. For different people, there are different gifts that God gave.
True.
Now, our task as human being is to open up that gift and share that gift with the fellow human beings. Because
True.
the sweetness uh, of uh, how do we experience the happiness or sweetness of life? It is through the acts of service. Human
True.
being was made to serve other people. It's a social animal. It's uh, cooperation, living in corporations. You see any big company that's made because of cooperation, and because one man had a vision, right?
True.
One man had a vision, and that man galvanized people through that vision, right? And everybody came together that I want to be a part of this something bigger. And then that's how revolutions are formed. Gandhi ji is quoted in this book. Gandhi ji
Okay.
had a vision that he will, make the Britishers get out of this country without the use of violence. This one man who was frail, who was fragile, who did not have the physical strength, who was not very wealthy also. He was educated, but he wasn't having that kind of power and that. But this man, how did he create a moment? Because his vision was clear that he wanted to get out the Britishers out of the country,
True.
right? So this man, with his clear purpose, he threw the British out,
That's
right?
really true.
And yeah, that's the same with many other leaders. If you see Nelson Mandela, how did he end that apartheid? Because he had that clear purpose. I want to end it. He had to pay a lot of cost. It was not an easy purpose. He had to go to
True.
the jail. He had to literally do so many things, so many struggles for that one, thing, that one vision. So sometimes the vision is not as easy as we think, right? You have to walk on fire, but if that vision is clear, if your mind is clear, you will be able to do all the things, all the amazing things that you have thought. Same was the case of Henry Ford. He was a very introverted guy who had no belief in himself. It was his wife who pushed him that you can do it. And she believed in the vision of Henry Ford when nobody else in the world believed, because Henry Ford was not very educated. He
True.
didn't come from a very educated background. Same was the case of, Thomas Edison. He did schooling for only 3 months. Imagine a person who
Okay.
has done 3 months of schooling. He went on to create the first light bulb, right? So, why were these people able to create these kind of feats, these kinds of amazing things in their lives? Because purpose. They
Correct.
had it very clear. Now, imagine if, just I'm giving a very simple example. Right now, if imagine God is asking you that, Sahil, what is it that you want? Do you have a clear picture, a clear answer? A
The
lot
answer
of
is
time,
yes.
yes. In your case, it's a yes, and it's a great thing that if you have that clear statement. But for a lot of people, it's not clear,
True.
right? And that's why they're drifting in one direction and then other direction and so many other things, right? So, purpose, as we think, a lot of people think, okay, it's just achieving a certain milestone. No, it's much beyond that. It's about creating a legacy. It's much beyond just a number, or just limited things that we see in the outside world. It is about whatever achievement that you will do. It is for sure about that, but within yourself, the happiness, the calmness, the amazing feelings that you have because you are doing something amazing, and you have a talent or a skill that you, because of which you are giving something, that's something amazing.
That's really true. And during your answer for this overall question, you mentioned certain things. First was that there are a lot of people in this world, those who are actually scared to get out of that cage, because already we have those abilities and so on, but still there are a lot of people, those who are not opening out their capabilities and abilities, and that's why they're stuck in their life. So are there any specific reasons on why people are not able to get out of that comfort zone and they're not living that purposeful life?
See, first of all, the first reason is they have been blindfolded with a lot of fear.
Okay. Fear of what?
Example. Let me give you some simple example. If somebody gets a job, everybody is all excited. Congratulations, you've got a job. But if somebody starts a venture, do people show the same kind of enthusiasm towards that person?
Absolutely not.
Right? People are scared. What will happen? Will he be able to survive, or will he be another failure story in the startup world?
True.
So that fear, and also there are certain fears which are instilled in every single person since childhood. We are taught to be safe. We are taught to live in the mode of survival. Nobody taught us to thrive, especially as a middle class kid. You're always taught that save. No, don't invest, but save as much. Cut corners, right?
True.
Jugaad. All of this. What is all of this? This is all, about you have to think small, you have to play small. Because there's that scarcity mindset. If you think big, maybe you will take somebody else's pie. So it's all a mindset. From childhood, a person is taught, no, you have to go to school, then college, then get a job, and this. And if somebody is starting something of his own, already he is so fearful,
True.
because from childhood he has been given so many things that he has been said over and over again. And when he enters that business world or that entrepreneurial world, a few setbacks, a few failures, and then he's like, oh, I'm done. A lot of people started coaching journey when I was starting in 2020. Many of them have went back to their normal jobs again,
True.
because that. And also everybody is not comfortable with all these things. They're not comfortable walking that road not taken. They're not comfortable with that. They want to be in that comfort zone. And it is very, very simple. Your money zone is as much as your comfort zone. If your
True.
comfort zone is this much, your money zone is also this much only. But if you increase your comfort zone to this much, your money zone is also increases. So I'll give you a very simple example. Who makes the most money? Who makes the most amount of money as in a company? It's a salesperson. Is there
Yeah.
any bar or any limit to his income? No, there's no bar.
No.
But this is also the person who has faced the most amount of rejection. This is also the person who is not afraid of going on sales calls. Sales is dreaded. Like people dread public speaking. Sales is seen as a taboo by a lot of people who are belonging from good families. They look down on sales because they think that, oh, I have to pitch to someone. And they have those their own internal beliefs. When you are selling to someone, you are also mirroring a lot of your own self. Like if somebody is saying no, you take it personally.
True.
I mean, new entrepreneurs, not you particularly, I mean to say people who are new to sales, they start taking things very, very personally. If somebody is saying no, oh, that means they are rejecting me. Maybe that person does not have the time to do your course, or maybe he does not have an interest right now. Maybe sometime later they will have an interest. So lots of things are there, and it all stems from a mindset. Because
True.
see, our mind is like a garden. There
Okay.
are good flowers that can come out of it, good plants, and there can be coming a lot of weeds.
True.
And if you let people or negative influences in your life, if you focus on those things, so the weeds will take over the flowers and the good garden.
True.
However, if you don't let those negative influences take over your mind, your garden would be beautiful. You will achieve more and beyond things that you had ever imagined. I remember in 2020, when, in fact, 2018, when I had first started working in a company, my biggest dream was, when will I resign from this office? That was
Okay.
literally my biggest dream, because I used to feel caged and suffocated in that IT job, because
True.
my talent wasn't not there. I wasn't good at my coding stuff. That was not something that was inbuilt. And none of my skills were put to use. I have great public speaking skills, not used. I have great, managerial skills, not used. I have great sales skills, not used. I have great, writing skills, creativity skills, business building skills, nothing put to use. So when I would come back from the office, every day I would feel hollow from inside, you know, and the sense
True.
of hollowness was eating me up, and I felt like, oh my God, I will do whatever it takes to just turn around my life. And I've tried literally very, very hard to, wherever I've come in my life right now, I have like literally put my blood, sweat, and tears. And right now, I'm so happy where right now I'm still, see, it's an ongoing journey. I've still, I'll not say it, I've finally made it or something like that. No, I'm still not there. I'm still figuring things out. But a lot of, I mean, that Taiba who was there in 2018, she has come a long, long way, because she was so scared. She was so damn afraid of taking decisions, making investments, doing on anything on her own, that she dreaded, living a life of her dreams. And it is the case with many, many people. They even dread, dreaming big or achieving big things or being successful, because at times it has been instilled being successful means you will give away all your happiness. Being successful means you work all the time. Being successful means, I mean, I don't know why it is shown like that in movies and in popular culture. If you see somebody is rich, it is always shown that that must be an evil person.
True.
That person must have acquired money through corrupt means. That person must have done something wrong to get that money. That person is not good at heart. It is rubbish. It is total rubbish. Now I
True.
realize that, because I have got the pleasure of having friends who are super successful, and they're so family oriented, they're so humble. My own best friend, she runs her own school in Bangalore. She is a superb mom, an amazing wife, a great friend, a great boss, and a great, she's also a part of charities and philanthropist. So being wealthy, being coming from, doing amazing things, does not mean that you will end up becoming evil. But these things are put in the minds of people. So at times, maybe we want success, but subconsciously we've been trained, no, 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 no. If you get success, means your family won't be there with you. They won't celebrate, because you'd be working all the time. If you
True.
have, I mean, you will die on your desk. It is something, it is a lot of people, they are shown, if they're working too hard, they are getting some kind of, aches and pains, they are falling, they are fainting. All of these things are shown in movies.
True.
And sometimes people take it for real. And I have literally seen people who are having the best health, the best of everything, along with having a lot of money, right?
True.
So money has nothing to do with uh, how good or bad you are. It's just a mindset that people have. And that is why I always say that, uh, earning more money, if you are good, it will only magnify whatever is inside you. Even if you're poor, it will only magnify that only. And if you're rich, it will magnify that only.
True.
So I mean,
That's really
it's
true.
all mindset. It's all mindset, wrong limiting beliefs, perceptions that have held us, that have chained us. It is like that story. Have you heard that story? Sahil, there's a story of a baby elephant, right? When he's a
Yes,
baby
I've heard that.
elephant,
Yeah.
and I would like to reiterate it for my viewers. There's a baby
Yes.
elephant. He's very small. He's chained. He's chained. And the master of that elephant when he tries to shrug off those chains. He's very small back then, right? He can't. Now as he grows up, he becomes a big elephant. Now he can actually break those chains into multiple pieces, but he does not even try. You know why? Because the subconscious mind has been trained hundreds of times that you can break that chain. And that is the case with, so many of people. Just you were asking this question, why are a lot of people not opening up their gifts? Because they've been chained by all these limiting beliefs. Recently I was a part of a platform wherein I saw there was a requirement of coaches, so I hopped on that platform, and I realized there was not a lot of demand for other coaches except life coaches. But I just was curious, what are the things that people are facing? And I realized, oh my God, low confidence, stress, anxiety, not knowing the purpose, so many things people are facing. And why is all these things coming? Because their own purpose in life is not clear. They don't know what they want, so they're trying 100 random things, getting frustrated at every single thing.
That's really true. And I think at this instance of time, the role of belief is really very important, because this is also what I've learned from my mentors, is that beliefs are something which can either make you or they can break you. And there are a lot of
Absolutely.
people, as you mentioned in the form of example as well, that they want to achieve certain big results in their life, but just because of their limiting beliefs, they're not able to even take their first step. And what they feel is that this path is not meant for me, or that purpose is not what I can fulfill, and so on. And that's why they give up.
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like. Even if people give their first try to just work on their beliefs, and I feel once they work on their belief from the negative till the positive one, I think most of the work is already done. Because once you have the positive belief that I can do this, I can achieve this purpose, no matter what, I'm ready to do whatever it takes, they'll do it.
Yeah, and here is a little tip that I have done for my own self. Every time I was told a belief, I always questioned. Because
Okay.
whenever you question things, for example, if your mind is telling you, you know what, I can't look great in front of the camera. Why do you think so? I, in fact, look great. I look fabulous.
True.
And actually go more often in the camera. How do you remove fears when you do that thing more and more often? For example, the first time I went to a pool, or the first time I was in Maldives and I jumped into water, I was afraid of water. I was like a kid crying, howling like anything, asking for help.
Okay.
And after that, we went to a different island there, and I and my husband, he literally took me so far off in so deep waters, like the water is beyond my head, and he was holding my hand and he said like swim, and he taught me a little bit that this is how you float. And by the second and third day, I was enjoying water, because so many times I was taken there in those deep waters, also in those shallow waters, also, that my fear, because the first time I put my face in water, I was like, I want to take a breath.
True.
I would fall short of breath every time I would just, put my face in water. But after a couple of times, and now I go for regular swimming and all, although still I'm not a pro at swimming, but I can at least float. I am not so uncomfortable that if somebody throws me in a pool, I would be all wacky. I'm not one of those now. I've got much comfortable with water, but yes, I have a long way to go. In the similar way, I think life is also like that big swimming pool. We are all scared when we jump in that pool for the first time. But the more you challenge your beliefs and the more you take actions towards breaking that beliefs, lot of times people think it's just the mental thing, but you have to back it up with action. You have to always back. I always say myself, whenever I see myself in the mirror, I always say that, you're looking amazing today. You're looking amazing today. And, I feel that people have that same energy around me. My
Okay.
gym person, um, she's the receptionist at my gym. So the other day I had come back from a long vacation from my home and I said hi to her. And she said, you know what, Taiba, I just miss talking to you because you're just so amazing. So, I
Okay.
mean, this happens when you train your mind, when you tell yourself. In fact, there's a very interesting, incident that I will tell you. Anil Kapoor. Anil Kapoor
Okay.
practices all of these things like crazy. So, uh, Prajakta Kohli was narrating this incident. They were working together in a movie, and he was looking down, and he was just saying, murmuring, "You're awesome. You're amazing. You're fab." He was just saying that to himself, and she was just sitting next. Uh, I don't know. She thought that maybe he's saying to me. After a while, she realized that he was just repeating those sentences to himself. And I have a lot of respect for that man because, at that age, he's, I think, in his late 60s. Still, he is having that kind of magnetic personality. His body, everything is in shape. When his fellow actors, they're nowhere to be seen. He's still working with leading actors and leading movies.
True.
That is whatever the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. This is one of the central quotes which is repeated like millions of times in Think and Grow Rich also, that whatever the mind can conceive, and wherever the energy goes, wherever the focus goes, energy flows. So the whole point is, where are you focusing? And also, are you backing up all of those things with actions? For instance, if I say to myself, I'll get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, right? And before sleeping, I do all the things, I put my alarm. But the next morning, if I don't wake up, and every day, if I'm not waking up, will I have any confidence that I will wake up at 6 a.m.? I will say
No.
that to myself, I'm just another lazy person.
True.
However, if I back it up, I wake up actually, when you keep promises to yourself, your confidence will skyrocket. When you have some actions that you back it up with, so when you are not doing actions, you can't even complain.
True.
That means you are still in the victim mindset. You are still there. There are a lot of problems. So mindset is amazing. You have to have mindset, but you have to back that mindset with actions.
That's
Make
really true.
promises to yourself and fulfill those promises.
That's really true. And I think at this instance of time, as you mentioned couple of times, with respect to the environment, with respect to one of the example of Henry Ford also, that his wife was able to understand the potential within him, even though he was having some sort of resistances and so on, but she recognized the importance of his purpose and so on. So talking about the masterminds and even the positive environment, right? So I believe masterminds are different and the environment factor is different, but mastermind is also a part of environment, right?
Yes.
So let's first discuss about the importance of positive environment and why should we stay away from negative environment. Although we have discussed about this topic a lot of times on this podcast series, but I feel every single guest is having his or her own experience in how do we get out of negative zone and how do we stay in the positive ones. So I want to understand what are your views on how do we stay in the positive environment, and then about the importance of masterminds as well.
So I think I have a very different thought process on this.
Okay.
A lot of times, when people are not understanding us, they're not supporting us, we
Mm-hmm.
start calling them toxic, toxic, toxic. Because
Okay.
as normal people, as laymen, we don't understand the language in which psychology people talk,
Yeah.
right? Toxic is somebody who gets happiness when somebody else is suffering. It's a mental disease, to be honest.
Okay.
Normal people are not toxic.
True.
They might be a little negative, or they might not understand you, or they might be a little unsupportive, but toxic is a different category.
Okay.
It's like that Joker in that movie. You would get happiness in the pains of others. It's like being a psychopath, something on those lines. So that's a toxic, when you call somebody toxic. Now, most people, they are not toxic. 95% of the friends, family members, people that we meet, they're not toxic, but they simply don't understand us. They don't
True.
know what we are into, what we are doing, what is our field. Maybe they love us a lot, they're being protective, They just don't want us to go into a road not taken, or they have a different thought process on things. So I think focus should be there. See, energies definitely is something which is contagious, which will uplift you or demean you. Like Pablo Picasso was a person, he would eat off the energy of people during the day, and all night he would paint.
Yeah.
Right? He was one of those persons. So if you have those kind of vampires around you who actually sap your energy, drain your energy, you should uh, do a vibe check, energy check with them, that every time I talk to this person, I feel drained or I don't feel good. That means I should be reduce my frequency. Maybe
True.
he's not the person I would like to, hang out more with, right? However, yes, positivity, energy, enthusiasm, people who have that kind of, energy, they're always good to hang out with people who are ambitious. But still, I would say that you should have two circles. One is
Okay.
your friends and family members.
Uh-huh.
These are people who will love you unconditionally. You fail, you succeed, whatever you do, you come back home. Your mother is your mother, your father is your father, your sister is your sister, your close friends. These people, they are with you no matter what you do. Now, there
True.
is a tribe. Now, these are your colleagues or maybe friends who understand you, who are ambitious, who are goal oriented, who understand what you're going through. You challenge them to go to the next level, they challenge you to go to the next level. So, I think having this balance uh, is good. And obviously, if you feel somebody is utterly toxic or somebody is totally off from your energy, maintain a good distance from that person. Try to reduce your interactions, because there are also those people who will, anytime you talk to them, they will put you in that zone of negativity or toxicity. So obviously, but yeah, having, see, a lot of times people start cutting off people in their life just because they don't understand them. So imagine you are on your own journey in life and they are on their own journey in life, and we have to always keep in mind something deeper, which is, what if everybody is doing the best that they can?
True.
Maybe they're not doing the best they can, but still, it is good for us. Why it is good for us? Because if we start thinking that that person is scheming, plotting, doing something bad to us, our entire energy goes to that negativity,
True.
right? I have to do this, combat mechanisms, defense mechanisms, all of this. However, if you think, you give them a benefit of doubt and you're like, what if this is the best he could do? Even if somebody is being mean to you, maybe you just try to reduce your interactions, let go of them, rather than thinking too much about it. Again, because that is feeding your energy.
True.
Having said that, I'll always recommend that you should have good friends who are your friends in your profession, and they're not necessarily your friends, but a group of people who are coming together with a united vision, with a common purpose. They are like minded, they have certain ideas on life, and they want to be with you, right? This is your group, this is your tribe, and then this is your family members. And I think you should be as compassionate, as loving as possible to your family members, friends as possible, because there are some people in life who will go all through their life without ever experiencing the compassion and the love that they could have experienced. They will pass an entire lifetime without feeling that unconditional love, that unconditional compassion. And you could be that person who could give that love, compassion, or things to that one, person. So I feel that, yeah, we are all intelligent enough to understand which person is in which category. You don't need to take away your professional things to your friends, and you don't need to, take away your family stuff or that deeper level stuff to your, tribe, because these are two for two different purposes. Your tribe is for your growth, for your professional upliftment, for, achieving goals, for going to the next level. Your family is there for your moral support, for love, compassion, for helping you out in different times. And yes, there could be people in this tribe who could be emotionally aligned with you, they could support you, but they still would not be able to ever compete with this group, because obviously, this is like your most inner circle. And obviously, because you start spending maybe more time with your tribe, also you start forming those deeper level connections. But this, I mean, we have to understand that these two groups have two different purposes.
True.
Right? If we mix the two and then we start calling everybody negative, it is not going to serve us or serve anybody. So
That's
I
true.
think being smart about, I mean, these concepts were not even clear to me. When I started off my journey, I used to think that people are mean, people are bad. But the more I am getting to personal development, I am realizing there are very few people who are actually, psychopaths or toxic. 95% people that you will meet, they are good people, they have good intentions, they are doing the best that they can. And it's just that sometimes they just don't understand you, or they are just in their own world and they don't want to come out of that world.
True. That's really true. And even at this instance of time, as you mentioned about the differentiation between two groups, let's take, for example, first is our friends, family, and close ones, and second is the group with which we are doing the work. And talking about that group where we are doing the work and so on, let's take, for example, right now, I am the leader of that particular group. And right now, we are having a combined purpose towards achieving, let's assume, XYZ goal in life. Maybe 5 years down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, and so on. But we know that if we are going with the same, let's assume, action plan, let's take, for example, today I'm doing 10 things. Like collectively, let's assume we are doing 50 tasks. So we know the importance that if we will do all the 50 tasks for rest of our life, we will achieve the results which we are getting right now. Right. So we won't be able to achieve that compounding growth maybe 5 to 10 years down the line. So how do we go about that extra mile? How do we go about that extra action on a day-to-day or maybe week-to-week basis so as to get that compounding effect 5 to 10 years down the line, or
So
maybe 20, 50 years down the line?
you mean to say, how do you make sure that people are motivated enough to do the work, that common vision, the work for that common
Yeah,
vision every single day?
true.
I think we can only bring out our best self, support them, give them the best. And also, it is so much about their own path, also, because every individual has their own energy, their own calling, their own speed, right? So, if we try to, push people too much, they might get away, right? There
True.
are people, uh, and different people have different timings. They're all going through something, so you can for sure positively motivate them, ask them, support them, do them the but if there are a group of very motivated people, I think you don't even have to ask them or do any of that. Just combining together your energies, just being in that zone will energize each other. Because if you are with that group of people who are all, amazing in their own things, you'll have a fun time learning so much from them, and they will learn so much from you, right?
That's true.
So I think just having just doing an energy check before you form this tribe, because this tribe is a very sacred space, that you're holding for each other. You're
True.
challenging each other, you're pushing each other, you are, trying to go to the next level. So that will come with its own, not everybody would be suitable to be a part of this circle. Like, I'm planning to be conducting this exclusive mastermind for my own self with few more people who would come together and be as trainers. I mean, there would be different people. So, for example, my expertise is personal branding. Then we'll have somebody who's great at high ticket sales. Then we'll have somebody who's great at, let's suppose, running Facebook ads. Then we'll have somebody who's maybe great at, copywriting. Then maybe somebody is running his e-commerce stores, right? So everybody doing something amazing. Now, when we all come together, right? As a group, as a tribe, and everybody is at that energy. They're all vibrating on that energy level. So everybody will bring in some of his own element. And in a mastermind, what is a mastermind? Mastermind is basically when two or more people come together in harmony to work towards a common purpose, towards a
True.
common, they're all coming together. Let's suppose they're coming together to increase their business, become better at health, improve their relationships. Like different masterminds could have different purposes. Maybe in one mastermind you're just talking about health. It's a group of health enthusiasts. The other mastermind you're talking just about wealth, how to make more wealth. The other mastermind it's about just you know about coaching, entrepreneurship, freelancing, all of these things. So what happens is when you create this group and you write a code of honor or a common, you have certain values defined. What is this group for? And you make sure that that sanctity of that group is always intact. Meaning, for example, if you're forming this tribe, you always do a vibe check. You always do a. There should be some criteria. Not everybody should be a part of it. There should be some filtration, because if everybody is a part of it, means it's this, that energy is missing, right?
True.
So you need to do filtration. You need to have a code of honor that needs to repeat in every single meeting. You need to also have you know a stand. Like for example, if somebody came initially, you felt maybe this person is great, ambitious, but that person is causing some issues within the mastermind, or harmony is not maintained because of that person. So what you need to do is you need to maybe take a stand and kick out that person, because you came together in a group, in a tribe, right, to work towards a common purpose. And if that one person is causing that problem, you have to first understand his perspective, and then if, upon talks and meetings also, you don't see any change in that person, or you feel he's not fit for the group, you have to have the guts to ask him to leave the group or to go out. Because mastermind is all about harmony. It's all about resonance. It's
True.
all about combining. And the good thing about mastermind, there are so many benefits of masterminds, like great ideas spark. Now imagine you and me are talking. So many ideas are now going on in your brain, right?
True.
The switches are going on, right? So imagine if so many people, 4, 5, 10 such people who are all vibrating at that energy level, they are coming together, they are forming that group. And mastermind is more like a marriage. Mastermind is not a short-term thing. It's
Okay.
like a long-term commitment where certain group of people come together to go to the next level. And in a mastermind, 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. It's 1 plus 1 equals to 11. Because what happens is, for example, there are 10 people here, all vibrating at that energy level. Now, if, for example, you initially had a goal of, let's suppose, I want to get 1 lakh a month, but there are people in your mastermind who are, let's suppose, at 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 50 lakh per month they're doing. Now, what will happen is you can use their guidance, you can use their, knowledge, resources. Because when you're coming in the mastermind, you are supporting them, they are supporting you. It's a maximum reciprocity situation. They are giving out their 100%, you are giving them your 100%, you are all collaborating, just giving and creating win-win situations. So
True.
maybe earlier your goal was, okay, this is maybe feasible for me, but when you are with people who are at that level, you suddenly elevate yourself, because everybody here in this group, they are all at that level,
That's
right?
true.
And they are all just, so the thing is, you can achieve more out of a mastermind because of the shared resources, because of the shared knowledge, because of the combined resourcefulness, because of the combined things, skill set, knowledge, talents, passions, resources, and things that you come together and form because of a mastermind. So And also, there's one very interesting insight about mastermind. A lot of people, they think when they think about a mastermind, it's always about the big things. Actually, mastermind is not about the very big things. Like Dean Graziosi, he shared in this speech, and this is very, very interesting. It gives me goosebumps every time I share the story. So he said, he had a friend and they were masterminding together, and they were continuously doing a lot of webinars. They used to do hundreds of webinars wherein millions and millions of people would join those masterminds.
Okay.
Now they were doing these webinars for free. They were
Okay.
doing these webinars for free, and one person from their mastermind said, what if you could charge a small fee for an exclusive experience? We all like VIP things, right? So what if you could provide a VIP version wherein the people who have opted for VIP, they get some kind of extra benefit. For example, they can directly interact with you. They can get a lifetime recording. They can get some ebooks. They can get some free courses. They can get some free resources, or be a
True.
part of a community which is there for a long time, right? You can give them those, and that will also help them get a flavor of what you're going to offer maybe in the next level.
That's
So
true.
just by applying this one simple insight of introducing VIPs in webinar, he was able to make millions and millions of dollars. Because initially he was doing those webinars just for free. By just introducing one thing, just one thing, the power of VIP, people started upgrading because they wanted to interact with Dean and Tony and all these amazing people. They want to have access of all these resources, and that entire trajectory changed. So what Dean Graziosi was telling was, he in fact owns this website called mastermind.com, and
Okay.
he is a big, like, he is the master of mastermind. So he was saying that in a mastermind, it's not about the big insights. It's not about the big things. It's about the small and deeper level nitty gritty things that you will get out of that mastermind.
That's
So,
true.
for example, Dean got this small idea that, what if I introduce a VIP in a webinar? What will happen? Right? People went crazy. They started opting in, and his, revenue skyrocketed, which was, earlier he was just doing it for free, and now with VIP, boom, millions of more dollars to his bank account. So that is the power of minds which, vibe together, which are operating at that frequency and having a common purpose.
That's really true. And we have also understood the importance of positive environment and people, those who are beyond us in our mastermind, so that we can achieve the great results. Uh, at this instance of time, we also discussed about having that purpose and so on. And we also know that at any instance of life, everybody is giving their best. But while achieving the purpose, we have to have that faith inside that purpose, faith inside what we are doing in the form of our actions, in terms of what we are persisting for. So how do we keep that faith? Maybe you can give some actionable points in the form of key lessons or learnings which we can straight away implement, so as to have that faith in what we are doing right now.
So faith was about, like, it's a fourth point, okay,
Yeah.
in the series. So talking about faith, faith is the head chemist of all the amazing emotions that you have, right? So faith keeps your purpose alive. Faith keeps all your visions and things that you are dreaming of alive. How? For example, if you know, like, what is faith? When one person tries, let's suppose this is a wall, right? And he has to jump from this side to this side, right?
Okay.
On this wall. And he's thinking, okay, let me try. He jumps the wall. He tries to jump the wall, but he could not, right?
Okay.
He tries again. He comes, he finds another wall.
Okay.
Now, he's like, I don't know how many walls are there. What will be the next thing, right? If that faith is not there, so he will give up after a wall or two wall or three walls. But however, if somebody knows, I am going to achieve this final thing, whatever the treasure is kept behind the wall, for sure it is mine only. It is for me only. God has given this for me only. I was born to achieve it. Now what will happen is he will jump one wall with enthusiasm. He will jump another wall and another wall and another wall, and finally he will grab that treasure. He will achieve the goal that he was wanting. The same is the case with life. A lot of us don't have the faith and the persistence to move from one setback to another. A lot of people are turning setbacks to comebacks.
True.
How? Because they know this is meant for them. This is their birthright. God made them for this. Not achieving them that dream would be something wrong. Achieving that dream is their birthright. When you have this kind of deep faith within yourself, anything you can achieve. Because imagine if a child knows there is a chocolate box that I will for sure get. I have to cross these few walls or few obstacles, but I will get that. He is
True.
100% sure.
That's
But
true.
that doubt comes. That's so you have to always keep your faith before fear, because 98% of the people on this planet, they are living in fear. Why
True.
do lot of people, they don't take the road not taken? They have all the talent. And the thing with this is, the more intelligent you are, you might have seen a lot of business people making great businesses. They're not very educated. If you see,
True.
they are not coming from great families or background. Some of them might come from their families or whatever, but many of them, they're hardly, they've done their 10th also. They've not even done basic education, and they are running big companies.
That's
Why?
true.
Because very intelligent people, they go into analysis paralysis, and
That's
people
true.
who are free of this analysis paralysis, they don't have any fear. They go on because they know success is theirs. And the intelligent people, they keep calculating those walls.
That's
Whereas the
true.
person with faith, sometimes this is a contradiction that, sometimes why intelligent people, why they are left behind. They might be very smart. I've seen very smart people not so bad at businesses. They are literally having no sense of doing business. Or why? Because their mind is in that analysis paralysis. Okay, if
True.
I cross this wall, what will happen? I'll go to the next wall, then how much time, how much effort, how much this, how much that, gone.
That's true. So you mean to achieve anything in life, to achieve anything great in life, we don't have to be smart enough so that we don't get into that analysis paralysis, like in the form of intelligence. Like we don't have to calculate all of those things. We just have to go all in. We just have to take that action, and we just have to keep that faith that whatever
I
I'm
mean,
doing, I'll achieve that.
what I mean to say is, yes, for sure, be smart, be intelligent, calculate risk, do all of that, but don't go in that analysis paralysis where you
True.
are not able to move forward. For sure, even if you're whatever you're doing in life, you have taken a decision. But take those decisions with faith, not with fear. Because
True.
when you take decisions out of fear, you are never going to achieve your goals. And when you
True.
take decision out of faith, uh, you will for sure achieve those goals. So nothing wrong with being smart, intelligent, all of that, but don't go in that analysis paralysis loop, because that's dangerous. That makes you
That's true.
indecisive. And when you're indecisive, you can't fight, you can't flight, you are frozen. There's a
True.
third response that happens, that is frozen. You don't know whether to move forward or backward because you're frozen.
True. That's true. And any last advice for our audience which you would like to give? Because I feel we can go straight away for hours while discussing about this book. And even honestly,
Yeah.
I have read this book, I think 1.5 to 2 times so far. Like I have completed once. I've completed half or maybe the complete one because I read this book in 2022. And this was the first book of my life where I started reading about personal development. I started reading about the importance of psychology and so on. And that book also helped me to shape my mindset. And right now, there are a lot of aspects in my life which are actually shaped by that particular book itself. And once again, thank you so much for pointing this podcast out on Think and Grow Rich itself. So, any last advice which you would like to give to our audience, except the advice which I would like to give, that uh, after going through this podcast, make sure you go through the book, because that is definitely going to help you out. But any other advice?
I think I would like to say is there are five things that are very very important. We might have. I'll just brief everything. The first is have a definite purpose.
Yeah.
Second is have a great mastermind, a group of people who are professionally or very very ambitious, or they're vibing with you. You have a common goal. You're working with them. Then there's a third point, which is have faith. Whatever you're doing, it is bound to work out at the end. Maybe not right now, maybe not tomorrow, maybe after 3 months, 6 months, but it will work out. Everything will work out. Just working with fear and pivoting whenever required, but never changing that final goal. We
True.
pivot, but we don't change the destination. We change the strategy, but we don't change. Another thing was okay. So first was
Purpose, mastermind.
purpose, mastermind, faith, positive mental attitude, very, very important. Your mind is like a garden, whatever you will plant, it will grow, that thing will grow. And final was one point is doing or going an extra mile.
Yeah.
See, we are all doing what is necessary, right? But going an extra mile will help you stand out. It will out compete. It will help you out compete your competitors. It will help you gain more respect of your prospects, clients, colleagues, everybody. It will help you charge more because you are giving more, right?
True.
It will help you be the best and always in demand because you are known for going for an extra mile. So whatever you are doing, these principles, they are timeless principles, they are evergreen principles. And I especially love this last principle of going an extra mile because, a lot of times people think, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'll do this much only. But when you have excellence is not by accident. When you do excellent things, it's a habit. Excellence is a habit. When you are always on that urge that I'm going to give more of what I'm asked, and let's suppose somebody has paid you 20,000 for some work, but you make sure that you are going to give him more beyond 20,000, beyond what he paid for. So that delighter factor will keep making him come back again and again and again. So any great company, if you take Amazon, very, very customer focused.
True.
Any great company for that matter who have built great empires, they are very, very customer focused. They're very, very particular about going an extra mile, about giving the customer the best of the best experience. So if you want to succeed, whether in your career, entrepreneurship, whatever, make sure you are doing something more. You are a little extra. And you should never hesitate to take that extra space also in this universe because you deserve it. It's your birthright. A lot of time people are like, I want this much space only. And that is why universe is giving them that much space only because they are
True.
too shy to, open up themselves and take that extra space, that abundance. So when you give extra, the universe gives you extra.
True. That's really true. And I think that was a great and profound advice. And that was today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed. And once again, thank you so much, Taiba ma'am, for being on our podcast show. Definitely, we will bring you on again with some new topics because, honestly speaking, while talking to you and while understanding your psychology about human in general, that itself gives me a lot of clarity about what I was in past and what I am right now and what people can also aspire for, maybe 1 year down the line, maybe 6 months down the line, so as to create a bigger difference in their life. And once again, thank you so much for being who you are, because honestly, you are creating a great difference in this world by sharing your wisdom, by going through a lot of masterminds, going through a lot of workshops, and sharing your wisdom in the form of podcasts with our guest. So once again, thank you so much.
So I would say thank you so much. I receive all your gratitude with open arms. Open arm is the language of gratitude, because when we close our arms, it means we are closed. And I'm opening my arms to all the love and appreciation that you have given me and the audience will give me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. One last thing I would like to share is this Friday I'm doing an exclusive, event, how to build a premium personal brand. So we all know about personal branding, but I did something interesting, some interesting researches, wherein I understood what does it take beyond your brand? How do you make it premium, right?
Mhm.
What does it take to make it premium? That we'll be discussing this Friday, 7 p.m. IST. If the podcast is up, I would love
Yep.
to share the registration link, maybe with you. You can share it with
Yep.
your audience and they might
Definitely.
benefit from that. Thank you so much, Sahil, for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you. So great seeing you do such amazing work consistently. Consistency builds credibility. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing awesome.
Thank you so much. Once again, thank you so much for watching this podcast till the end. And I hope that now you are absolutely clear about what are the different actionable steps which you have to take from today onwards so as to achieve the great possible outcome for yourself 6 months down the line, 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year down the line, so as to achieve those compounding results, not just by becoming rich, but by also becoming wealthy in terms of finances, in terms of health, wealth, relationship, and all of those aspects. And please do make sure that you check out all the social media links of Taiba Mahmood, which are given in the description section. And also I've shared the workshop link, which she shared in the podcast, which is given in the description section. Please do make sure that you check that out. And I look forward to see you in the next one. And before you leave, please do make sure that you share all of your takeaways below in the comment section. And I look forward to see you in upcoming episodes. Till then, live fully, love openly, and make the difference today. I wish you joy and abundance in all you do.